So she checked and the result wasn't forthcoming, right? Yes, now that's what happened the first time. I don't know, like the audacity of some people. I'm like, you were shook. And I clearly remember that day, I was telling God, I don't want to write this exam like more than once because everybody's always like, jump. You allow jump to jump you. My dad always says this thing, oh, nobody has written any exam more than once, that in his family, like, that is, my brother wrote, he passed, my sister wrote, she entered immediately, so it was now like up to me. Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm so glad to have you here. Today we're going to be talking about my admission story. I feel the need to share the testimony because of what God did and how He did it. Today I'm going to be sharing the story with my one and only sister.
Yeah.
Blessing Iswa. Should I introduce you or do you want to introduce yourself?
Give me hype now.
Okay.
Hype me.
My sister is my manager. She is, should I say she's also my creative director?
Bring deals.
She's my videographer. She's also my videographer. And you know, she's just everything. She has been so supportive of my creative journey, and I'm so proud to have her as my big sister. And I'm even honored to have you here.
I'm proud to have you too. As my babies.
Alright, let's not get too distracted. We're so glad to have you here.
Thank you.
Let's get right into the video. Prepared for JAMB in a story like every other person would do. My school had oriented us. We went to the JAMB center. It wasn't even really stressful because my school had gone behind the scenes to ensure that we got premium treatment. And I clearly remember that day, I was telling God, I don't want to write this exam more than once because JAMB was something that everybody is always like, jump. You allow JAMB to jump you. And then in my family, my dad always says this thing, oh, nobody has written any exam more than once, that in his family, like, that is just write one exam, clear. My brother wrote, he passed, my sister wrote, she entered immediately. So it was now like up to me. Deep down, I felt like something was going to happen, but then I was just like, yes, I actually did feel like something was going to happen with me, right? But I just like, waved it off and all of that. So the day before my exam came, I was posted to Ebute Meta. The center was very disorganized. We were supposed to start the exam by 12 and I think I finished writing around 3. So because I remember getting home around like 5, 6-ish that evening, and it was just so exhausting. Now a week after, I think that's when they now like release the results. I'm going to hand over to my sister here.
Yeah, I remember. So back then when I was in secondary school, there's this thing that some of our teachers, especially our maths teachers, they would bring their phones, tell you to call your registration number so that they can check your JAMB scores for you. Everybody would rather want to check it by themselves than feel that suspense of another person checking for you, just any other person, your teacher. So when it was Glory's turn, I don't know, I just felt like she was under a lot of pressure. And let me just help her to ease off this pressure, because I knew that she could not fail. Obviously, like, we are very intelligent by the grace of God
in our family.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, I'm going to check this thing for her. And the thing was that she even used my own SIM to register for JAMB, so it was even like a lot more easier. So I was like, I'm going to check this thing before I tell her, because I felt like I'll be able to present the news no matter how bad or good it is, to her better. But the result wasn't showing. Now we were all worried.
JAMB kept on saying that, oh, your results is being processed, just hold on. From May, guys, till August, like, there was no JAMB result. Like, there was literally no JAMB result. My head boy had 300 plus, so and as the head girl was like, come on, like, what's happening? It was actually very disturbing. And now my valedictory service was slated for August 2nd, and then you guys would not believe what happened. JAMB decided that morning that they were going to reschedule another exam for my center and I think some other centers, and my exam was just 2 days after my VS. Now, I was already in that, oh, I'm done with WAEC, I'm almost done with NECO, because I think I just had like 2-3 papers left, and I'm like, okay, like, it's up there.
And we're not even sure if the papers you had left were papers that were relating to JAMB or papers we were going to do.
They were not. And preparing was just, it was funny because, like, I'm literally preparing to graduate. Like, do you know what that means? I'm not going to go and write JAMB. Like, how many months ago? Either way, I did the exam. I read the exam at JKK and it went well. 5 days after my graduation, the results came out, and guess what I had? 244. And I was going for economics.
244 in the University of Lagos. Wow.
That day I cried. I remember writing in my journal and I was like, I feel like I'm a failure because everyone was disappointed.
They hid their disappointment.
No, they did not hide their disappointment. They were expressive. My mom was like, oh, I didn't even reach up to like the family standard and all of that. And I didn't even do so well in maths, and I was going for economics. And anybody that knows economics knows that. So economics is maths. And then it was crazy because I had bagged a lot of prizes. I got 8 prizes for being best in economics. I was best in economics in my set. I was best in economics like in WAEC as well. Like,
So how did you feel when you felt like your dream of studying economics was not going to come to reality?
I felt very bad at that particular point in time. I'm just like, okay, maybe this is it. I've heard cases where people will be like, oh, they were going for this course, and then eventually they now realize that the course was not really for them, or their abilities could not match up. Because initially, when I wanted to go to senior school, I wanted to go to science class, but then my brother discouraged me, so I couldn't do it. And I went to business class.
I remember the night. My brother for the first time literally had a sit down talk with her, and then I don't know what he told her, I don't know what he said to her, but then Gloria has literally been saying she wants to be a pediatrician since she was little. That's a doctor that takes care of children. And then all of a sudden it was as if he just said some few words, and then all that dream just
it wasn't even like some few words. He was on it for like a really long time. But I think one day I just really sat down with myself and I was like, nah, I can't do this. And I'm really grateful that I didn't go to science class, because it's not like I'm not smart, but I felt like
scared of physics and chemistry.
I don't know physics and chemistry, so I can't even be scared.
But that was what he told you,
that's his business. let's not get too distracted. So I knew that I may have done well in science class, but not as well as I would have excelled in business class. So I felt like that was the same thing with the whole economy. And eventually, Unilag didn't even do post-UTME that year, and my JAMB score was like really low. My WAEC score was good actually, but then I just couldn't meet the cutoff, and we now opted for a change of course. So I had done research. I found out that human resource management was a pretty solid course. Almost all the people I told were like, bam, that's solid, like you can work anywhere. Economics is a baseless course, no shades.
But then Unilag happened, and there were certain stories that
they were
particular year they were not accepting change of course, which was so bad. If that's something they wanted to do, you should have given us heads up.
So I had to stay with a family friend, wanted me to write JAMB. Okay, what if the admission didn't come? And I was pissed because I felt like this woman was doubting my capabilities. Like, do you know the family I'm coming from? We used to write one exam more than once. So actually, I registered for the JAMB because I was with her, and there was literally nothing I could do. And that period was very tough because there was a lady I was, kind of like tutoring at that time.
Sorry, let me just cut you. So in case you are wondering why she was pissed when the family member asked her to take JAMB again, at that time, the previous year December, we didn't know that Unilag was not accepting the change of course, so we were still very hopeful. So when the family friends started pushing Glory to take another JAMB, it felt more like, what are you trying to insinuate that has failed again? But things like anything that affects her affects me, because I was also worried. It was more like we were doing the thinking together.
So I was tutoring somebody, I was reading, I was also helping her in the house. It was a whole lot. Sometimes I would wake up in the night to read and I would just sleep off. Hey God, I never forget one time. My husband came, I was ready to, he just gave me back. God. You know when you are trying to sleep all kind of sweet sleep, and then they just give you back. The way your eyes go open For weeks leading up to when I was going to write JAMB for the third time, because remember I wrote JAMB twice the previous year, and I was going to write again like in 2023. I started having series of bad dreams. There was one dream I had that I did not do my exam at all. There was another dream, accident, like so many silly things were just popping up. I think Mr. said somebody reached out to her.
Yes. Someone also reached out to me and knew about Glory. Just started asking questions like, oh, how's your sister? I need to pray with her. I know that he had a dream, and then he didn't want to tell me because he was like, he didn't want us to be worried and all of, but eventually he told us. He said he was just seeing blood, accidents. I was concerned that what is this? Now that she wants to write JAMB again, I think that was the period where centers were being released for the exam. So I reached out to Glory, and Glory said she had similar dreams, and then she's also praying with someone over there. And so I connected her with the person that reached out to me, and then that's how prayer started. Few days after, another of my friend again reached out to Glory, and it was like he has to pray with her. So I think they went on, was it a 1 week?
No, it wasn't 1 week, it was actually the night before.
Okay,
we prayed.
prayed like a lot. The prayer was long.
It was actually
In my head, it feels like 1 week.
it was actually like,
Yes.
but while I was praying, I was also like, preparing, and I felt very confident that whole time because I had read a lot. To be very honest,
Glory to
I
God.
felt like I was understanding
Despite the
that
slips.
I felt like it was at that point in time I was even getting to understand some things that I didn't really understand
in secondary
school
Yeah.
and all of that. So on our way to the exam, we were actually almost involved in an accident, and it was oh my god, so many things happened. My exam was slated for 7 a.m. and I was going all the way from Surulere to Berigbe beside the Korodu, like beside the Korodu. We got to the bus stop by like 5:30. First, there was no bus.
Wow.
When bus now came, there was traffic. So the driver literally had to follow one, like we had to follow the other. So in case everybody was just like rushing, it was a Saturday, the people were going for weddings and all of that. And it was actually very surprising to see that much number of people on the road. Like that early,
What? This is Lagos.
Bro.
This is Lagos.
And then we were just going, the driver was just and my mom and I we were like close to the window. It just took like 1 inch for our bus not to hit that car. And I was like, God, like everything just started coming all over. Like I was like, hey, God forbid, like I was like, this is how I'm going to die.
Glory to God, glory to God.
So after even passing that hurdle, we now got to the hurdle of it was already getting to 7 minutes. I said, God, this is how I'm going to miss my jam. We got to one part, the driver had to park the bus. He said something tire. I was like,
on the way.
I'm joking, like this is my future we're talking about. Hey,
The
God.
devil is a liar.
I'm telling you, like it was so crazy. I was going through a lot, like mentally at that
And it's more painful because you can't even tell anybody, like driver.
I was just people were shouting, but it's me that like I literally knew what I was going through. And then eventually we made it to the center. We got to the center by 7, like on dot.
Wow.
That was so organized, like oh my god, like I was so impressed. I can't remember the name of the school, but I was so impressed. We got in when we went in a file. As we were entering the school, we were writing our names, writing the time. I was like, oh my god, like this is screaming decorum. We went in, there were chairs. For people that they had called, they were sitting at a particular side. For people they had not called, they were sitting at a particular side. Started at stressful because some people came late, some people had problems. Some people did not print their sleep. I said, this one is it your village people are being you? I don't even know.
So what was in their minds? You showed them on the phone or what?
I don't know, like the audacity of some people. I'm like,
you were shook.
I just sat down and I was praying. I was trying to calm myself down. I didn't want to like get distracted and whatnot, so I wasn't even like talking to anybody. It was not like I even knew anything.
So you wrote the exam,
yeah, I did actually write it.
And
the place was cold, so I had to be fast. But then for the first time, I can say that I attempted all the maths questions and I was so confident. Like I was very, very confident. We finished and I went back home. And I remember telling my brother, because my brother tutored me for maths like the week leading up to the exam. And guys, you'd not believe that most of the questions that we solved together, they came out. My brother has that gift.
My God.
Like he's good like that.
Gift or his grace.
He's good. He's blessed like that.
God.
I was just like, bro, like some of them I didn't even need to solve. I was like, once I see the numbers, this is the option.
Yes,
and this is the answer, right? So after like 2 weeks,
the result
came out. Hey, tension.
Glory did better this time.
Actually, I had 80 in maths, so like 80 over 100.
She did let us hear
I did better than my brother and my sister.
But my JAMB score was still higher.
But my JAMB score beat my brother.
The family.
It no concern me. See, the maths was
who goes down, man? Hey.
The maths was my main concern, to be very honest, because I didn't even care. Not like I didn't care. I cared, but like.
Guys, so this when you're not very good in a particular course, you now do private lesson for that course. Your scores now go
like
that was
my brother was like, oh yeah, let me send my account number. Show your gratitude.
That's what happened to you.
Like everybody was happy, and I just felt like, oh my god, like I'm finally making my parents
I was
proud.
so excited.
So we were very confident at that particular point in time that this admission, we're getting it this time. But then
the thing that happened this time, when it was time for the cutoff marks to come out, we actually checked. Happy Me reached out to everybody at home, but then they had already gotten the good news at home too. So like we're all happy, waiting for the real admission offer from JAMB. But then we waited and
like a month.
Yes. And then very close to the time when school was about to resume, that's when we started becoming like extra worried what's going on. And then we tried accessing JAMB caps because that's where you're going to check to know your admission status. And then
I could not log into my JAMB cap. So we knew that there was serious problem because I even got in touch with somebody who had the exact same aggregate that I did.
and then
we had
he
gotten
had seen
yes,
AIP.
yes.
I went to JAMB office the very first time.
We went.
We went rather, sorry.
Mhm.
And see, I pray that nothing will happen to anybody that is watching this video that will make you go to JAMB office, because those people, their customer service is poor.
Zero.
Like
I
it is-
entered with my sister and they were just like, hey, are you the one with the problem? Go.
They
go,
were
go.
so like,
why are you so? Can't you just speak to?
Exactly.
Can't you just speak to me in a calm state?
oh, we don't allow only the person that has the
Exactly.
problem. Period. Either way, I went to, and then the woman checked my portal on the system.
Yeah.
And then surprisingly, it was showing. And then this woman was like,
Did you tell them what was showing? Your work results.
my right results, yeah.
Yes.
And then I was like, it's not showing on my own phone, no. Like, it's not like, do you remember just shouting that? So you mean you came here to waste my time? I'm like, no, man. Like, what do you think I will leave my house?
transport money?
And I'm just looking at her. And she was like, oh, I should be going a beg. Just like, I felt very.
So I actually felt relieved that thank God you showing on JAMB's system and everything. But then we got home, we still checked nothing. We had even reached out to JAMB online.
yes,
we got their number.
they were the
We
ones that
emailed them.
said we should now like come to the
Okay.
office, right?
And
their
prior to that
headquarters.
time, we had re-uploaded the WAEC certificate again, just to be sure, just in
Like,
case.
if you didn't show the
Yes,
first time,
just in
oh,
case.
let's show the second time.
So we reached out to someone, the person Glory spoke of earlier, who
Family friend who
yes,
used to like write letters for people who would know like meet up the cut,
almost meet off the cutoff mark, right? So she said she had a friend in the admissions office, and then they reached out to that person. She reached out to that person, and the person checked
on the system.
yes, on our own system, and said that Glory's WAEC result was not reflecting on the system.
And I was not going to get the admission. Like, the woman just said this point.
Yes, she just said
no
that
admission.
no WAEC, no admission. And we were like, what's happening? If it's on JAMB system, then that means you've actually uploaded it there. So
it
what's
seemed
happening
like
on
Unilag was actually like the only problem. And then I had to go to JAMB office again. Like, it was such
like to be sure that
And then the woman was just bringing up one very petty. She was like, oh, I'm not supposed to use the email that I used for the first time I wrote JAMB. I'm like, what do you mean?
like, do you know your
People that
job?
have written JAMB 5 times. So do you mean they'll be changing email as what? And the woman was like, I should just go. That it's not from JAMB, it's from the school.
And actually it was from Unilag, right?
She told me that I should still be attending classes because
Yes.
like, oh, it was going to eventually come. And I was really hopeful. Like, I really needed that admission. I desperately wanted it to come. So I did some things like in act of faith, and I'm going to be sharing even more of that in the coming videos, because this is going to be like a mini series.
That time, Glory was coming to school, attending classes, and some of my friends and my classmates knew what was happening. I'd already told them prior to that time that Glory was coming to join me for that new academic session. So when I told them the old challenges and everything she was facing, some of them were like, I knew that they wanted to say like we should just give up and take another JAMB, but I was not even going to allow anybody to say that to my face. And I just really want to thank God that they
understood.
yes, they kind of understood. And I had so much faith, guys. I was like, don't worry. I was the one telling them, don't worry, she will enter, don't worry, God will do it. Because actually gave us a time limit of 2 weeks that would see if the WAEC results would have shown on the
Reflected.
yes, would have reflected, and then from there they can now process our admission. But then 1 week passed, I was still telling them that don't worry, Glory is going to enter. And one day when I was going to work in one of my friends, she's a Christian, he looked at me. I felt like God already told her that this admission is not forthcoming. Yeah, I sensed it that day, and I felt like she really wanted to tell me, but she didn't want to hurt my feelings, and I'm glad she didn't say it, because if she said it that
It
time,
would have killed your faith.
I don't
It would
know.
have destroyed
Ah,
my
it
faith.
would have-
Like, let me tell you, see, I got words of prophecy that although God did not say it was going to come then, but you know when they are like the action is going to come, you just think that it's like immediate.
yes,
My pastor prayed and looked in the air and said, I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with it. But like, it was not telling. I was not beginning to like, what's going on? Like, they say God is not a lot of confusion. Like, it don't make sense to me, to be very, very honest.
2 weeks came and 2 weeks went,
And that was it.
nothing happened.
And then we now even like found out that someone living around us was a lecturer in Iraq. So this was where I now got the final slap. You are not getting the
Admission process is over,
right. So
that's what they told
he
us.
took me to Senate's house and he knew the head of admission, like the lady, the woman, go. So we went there and they checked and they're like, oh my god, like excellent result, like perfect, good.
And at that
like,
time, I think the WAEC result had already dropped.
yeah.
Yes, it had already dropped.
Yeah, but they said that the deadline had already passed.
for
And the woman
admission.
was so sad.
I'm telling
She was
you.
like, oh my god, and they like, this is such an amazing result. She was so sad for me, like I could even sense it, and the man was just like, just go, we have to
Are you kidding? Like play.
that day I was just like, God, what's happening in my life? Isn't that school is not in the picture for me? It was a whole lot because I started seeing myself as a failure. My friends that I graduated with them, some of them were already going to their second year. And, like, what was happening with me? It was so painful, to be very honest. But I just braced myself and I was like, you know what? I already had the mindset that okay, I was going to write JAMB coming year, so I started preparing.
But apart from preparing, she actually soaked herself up in content creation, and I can tell you that, oh my god, it really paid off. In that 1 year, in that space between when Glory heard that admission was over, in fact, it got to a point where I was like, are you prepared for this JAMB? All these content creation things that you got. When they say consistency, she's the queen of consistency. And I was just like, please read your book, read your book, read your book. But I
just feel like everybody was scared. My mom was like, make sure you're reading your book. Because I published a book this year, a poetry series actually, 37 hours gone. More on that later. But then I was just, trying to like focus on other things that would make me really happy. I went out a lot, I met a lot of people, started volunteering, like did a lot of things. And I can say that it happened for a reason. So I went to register for JAMB. I don't know if you're going to be watching this video. The registration was really smooth. My center came out on time. I was preparing. I went that day. The exam was one of those exams that they ask you, how did you do? Just like, I don't know. Because it was so weird. Like, I could not even say,
I remember,
oh, this subject though. Like, the four of them.
and the subject that not just her, other people in the center complained about was English. And I was like, who complains about English? Like,
English was
it's something
weird.
we speak, right? So, like, it was a very weird complaint for me. Just from her, I'd have said, okay, maybe you didn't prepare enough. But then many people, and I was like, what kind of questions did they ask?
The comprehension was just like, it was so weird. Like, I didn't even want to talk about it. So either way, the results came out, and I remember that morning. Guess I was having like network issues, so I couldn't check. And then you know how JAMB news was just flying, just be seeing memes, sharing news on everybody's WhatsApp status, even people that are invested, people that have graduated. I was like, bro, you guys relax.
It's actually a very big deal in Nigeria.
Relax.
We are hearing that, was it only 1 million 1 million Nigerians reached up to 200. I can't remember the number, but
I think they said only 0.5.
Yes, something like that. Like, it was so bad.
1 million students had less than 200. I think that was the actual.
I know that
it was terrible.
200. I was like,
I checked.
Scared. We knew we were going to pass.
I checked, and I actually, I did well. I did well enough for my course, and everyone was happy. And this time, I said, hey, nothing must take this admission.
Yep.
Aside from backing up myself like with words, spiritual and all of that, I stayed like up to date. Like, I was current. I didn't want to miss out on any information. I did every single thing on time. And as God would have it, I got the admission. Like, people were so happy.
So yeah, that is it too. You didn't even tell them what happened. After the cutoff mark came out, we also that she had passed. So that was like the first phase of the victory.
Yeah.
Then people started seeing AIP admission.
Okay, yes.
And then
when I went to check my own, I was seeing your admission is being processed. I was like, Daddy, I was almost crying because I'm like, oh my god, like I've waited so long to see this on my portal. And then apparently I was even checking the wrong place, because if I had checked the right place, I would have seen admission in progress.
So for quite a while, it was showing admission in progress. And then we started getting worried. She already started getting worried.
Then I now figured that I was actually even checking the wrong place. Then I now checked the right place.
Then one fateful day.
No, I saw admission in progress the night before I got admitted.
Hey,
the news was just coming.
Say one fateful day.
One fateful day. I was like,
one fateful day.
One fateful day.
I
was just on my own. Said they started giving admission. Somebody was like, oh, here's the link to check. Hey, man was shaking as I was holding the phone. I said, God, do this. Don't fail me this time. I know you did not fail me those times, but don't fail me this time. I just saw. Congratulations, you have been offered. I wanted to scream. I was like I looked at the phone. I was like, oh my god, like finally, like
we woke up.
This is what I have been waiting for, and I just shined my eye bright, because people were saying, I was there for a lot of crazy stories. People that are going. That was also a tiny fear. I showed my eyes, zoomed in the phone very well. I clicked accept. Even after I clicked that, I still had to refresh again. Just to be sure. After I had not accepted, and I said, Mommy, Daddy, I've got something. They were so happy.
Guys, God is good.
They were so happy.
God is good.
That was how it happened.
Yes, God. So excited because someone has sent her money for admission cake. You know when God has blessed you so much and you're so happy, You are so happy to the point that you decide to share your happiness with everybody. You buy things, but then out of things you buy, you can't even eat because you're already satisfied with happiness.
That's a lie. They
That
just
was
cheated
what-
me with that.
She didn't cheat her. That was what happened to her. She was so excited that she could not eat, and cake is one of her favorite snack, or what we like call it.
Desserts.
Yes, so she could not even eat enough. I remember she was like, "Oh my god," she was just so happy, like her stomach is filled. I was just eating, but it was only that night that I know I ate. Yes, but because cake remained for the next day.
Shout out to you, Jumoke. That's my sweet friend in Canada. She sent me money
for the cake.
for
The
my
cake was
admission
lovely.
cake. It was so amazing.
Like it was sumptuous.
It was actually
It was
really amazing.
delicious.
So
Yes.
guys, I think that's it.
That's it. Oh, thank you, Jesus.
So let me just put this out there to anyone who is in a waiting season. God is eventually going to come through for you, and I feel like you should just make use of the time that you have. Explore a new hobby, learn a skill, do like just literally go out, have fun, learn about people, learn about things, learn about places, because at the end of the day it's going to pay off. I feel like no knowledge basically is a waste.
It's
Not
waste,
even just
yeah.
like in the classroom, but like in the real world and all of that. I've been able to meet a lot of people, connect with a lot of people, build amazing relationships, and
Even create like a personal brand for yourself.
yeah, create like a personal
Guys,
brand
I'm a
for
manager.
yourself.
Please don't forget, bring deals. On a serious note now.
That's all for today.
Mhm.
In my subsequent videos, I'm going to be sharing what my friends had to say about my waiting season, how they thought I handled things, and I'm also going to be sharing some clips that I took, in faith while I was trusting God for the admission, and some of the things that I did. Right. So one of them is that I got a cake, right, and I'm going to be sharing that in my subsequent video. So just watch out for that. Oh, I forgot to mention. Now is the time to hit that subscribe button. Hit it now.
Yeah, hit it. Good.
Thank you. Welcome to the family. I was so glad to have you here again. Until my next video, stay safe. We love you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, let's go. If I do this again. Welcome.